You know, my dad used to tell me, son, no matter what you are cooking, if you put crab meat in it or on it, you can't lose. With sound advice, it's good that we live in the best place to get crab meat, year-round. Today, the best place or people to get it from, Luke's Seafood in Dulac, Louisiana. Family-owned and literally family-run. The Lukes are true Louisiana seafood gatherers. From oysters, shrimp, and crab, if it's running, they are catching it. Today's excursion to run about 120 crab traps in hopes of a good payday. It's hard work, but some of the finest crab comes from this area. This I know for sure, because I brought these home with me. Perks of the job. Luke's Seafood is located just off Shrimpers Row in Dulac, Louisiana. You can't miss the big yellow warehouse right in the front. When it comes to seafood, if it's in season, they usually have it. A quick knock on the door and Miss Trudy will get you what you need. Trudy runs the biz end of Luke's Seafood, but don't think she won't jump in a boat and carry her own in the water.
A simple routine. After 13 years, you just know what you got to do.
Okay.
But today, it's husband Tim and son Andy. They will help us understand more about catching blue crab as it's been done for many generations in their family.
I've been a commercial fisherman since I'm 9 years old. I ran my first shrimp boat at the age of 13.
The days start early, and the crabbers always begin the day in debt. Catfish heads are not free, but they are the best bait. And if you are lucky, maybe you'll find a few mullet to offset the cost.
The crabs bite on the mullet, so I'll come out ahead if I use the mullet. Slow like the crabs are right now, I can use the mullet and I'm gonna make a few more dollars because the bait's $18 a box.
When they're dead, you snap them. See they go to bleeding, the oil.
Yeah, well, see, you're a fisherman, I'm not.
I've been out of school since I've been in the 4th grade, you know. And the only reason I've been out of school since I'm in the 4th grade, my dad fell sick, and I was supporting for a couple of years. I had to support my mama and 3 or 4 other kids at the house. Actually, Andy graduated this last year, and this is just really making a living at it.
So you're talking about there's a difference between doing it for fun and making a living at it?
Yeah. Yes. But you know, my daddy always did tell me, you got to make fun of what you do for a living. Otherwise, it's not a living.
It's not a living.
You know, you got to love what you're doing.
When we come back, we will get to the job at hand. Will the day bear fruit, or will we be eating mullet stew?
Depending what I got planned for that day, go crabbing, go shrimping, working at the crab dock. Yeah, that is a good
That's a good trap.
Yeah.
What kind of numbers are you looking in each trap? What's a good trap?
Always you're looking for the most. But I mean, a decent trap, a dozen, 15 crab trap to the trap.
Doing things is what?
Ooh.
Oh.
Careful.
So he does miss.
I just put a little excitement in everybody's life, that's all.
Fuel bill just went up.
Say,
What is it like working with family?
It's a pain.
I love working with my family. It's just they got hard time understanding my ways.
It's a real pain.
You guys are more, I say, technically advanced than some of the other guys that are still just doing it by hand.
I can't say technically advanced. It's just
Technically, the old way of crabbing is what?
it's running traps by hand.
And so each trap, what do you have to do? I mean, we're just running by and raking them up.
Well, you see, the ones that run by hand, they don't have to bill a rake, and they don't have to put a corner bar.
Okay.
But see, this corner bar makes your cage a lot stronger when you're pulling it with the rake. We can run traps a lot faster, you know, so we can run a lot more traps in a day, you know, with the rake.
Like today, I probably lost 2 traps, not knowing the area and whatnot, like my dad explained.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you, I got this job down. I don't know what I'm doing, but I got it down. Nothing's bit me yet. I'm not bleeding.
Now, before you say, I think I want to get into crabbing, well, consider this. Crabs are a lot like fish. Sometimes they bite, sometimes not.
Like right now, you get into your fall and your winter months, so you kind of want to current lines, deeper water, because your female got a tendency when the tide drops to go into your deeper water.
Tons of what I call street knowledge goes into crabbing. Knowing the area, tides, trenches, trenasses, placement of traps where the crabs are moving. Yes, crabs do move. A lot.
Now, is there a way that you're placing it in the currents, or it doesn't matter as long as it's on the bottom?
No, different areas, different places, different crabs, different ways.
You could pick up all these traps and move them one day.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
Like Sandy.
It goes on and on. And did I mention the expense of just getting one trap in the water?
It is an expensive, hard business. This year, I probably invested $30,000 into my business. I had a 24-foot Carolina, busted a hole in it. I had to go buy a new one. Right at $17,000. An engine, $18,000. And when you're looking at traps at $35 a piece, you're looking at serious money. And you can't fish with nothing less than 300 traps.
Man, there's more hardhead catfish than Kevin Ford catches in a show here.
When you use pokey, you get a lot of hardhead catfish. Pokey attracts catfish. A lot. So,
See that right there? That's a problem.
You eat the whole crab besides the shells, I believe. Right?
I don't know. You know everything.
This is kind of like the wild hog of the water. Really no predator. You don't want to get stung by one of these things because that's a trip to the hospital. And they eat every single thing. Shrimp, crab.
And if you get stung by one, always carry your bottle of Clorox.
I mean, this is truly what they call a hardhead catfish. You can see it's got a little bit of variations down the side. What we're baiting the traps with today is actually a blue cat. But these things right here, they're good for nothing.
Odd jobs. I guess that's what happens when you become a guest worker on a crab boat. Picking hardhead catfish out of the crab box, locating bycatch. You know, those extra varmints that figure their way into the trap for a free meal.
There are a couple of things that you catch in these traps with crabs that you don't want to throw back. This right here is one of my favorite bycatches on any day.
Undersized crabs.
So that crab right there, that's a legal crab or an illegal?
That's a legal crab.
This is a legal crab, so
Yeah,
that's
that
5
crab
inches.
right there is about 5.5 inches.
And what he's saying is they're measuring, when they say tip to tip, these 2 points right here, it has to be 5 inches across to be legal. That's a what?
Or maybe even a packed crab.
Pack crab, yeah. This is millions of eggs in here.
And that's
The
illegal to
darker you
keep.
get, that's illegal to keep in Louisiana.
Yeah, well, we don't want to keep them anyway. We
No.
want her to go back in
That's right.
and drop those eggs. Well, how long will she stay like this?
That crab right there, looking at it, I'd probably say 2 weeks.
And then she'll just drop
And
them
then
off.
she'll just drop them off. And then this will turn black. All that sponge will turn black. And then the crab will die. So I'm told.
That's sad, man.
But when your job doesn't require total focus, you tend to start noticing things that, well, seem to find their way into a little white bucket hidden behind the captain. Things that are totally none of your business and you should never ask about. Unless, well, you're like me and you just gotta know.
What we got here?
We got
This dude doesn't look like the same as everybody
no
else.
stone crab.
Now, is he?
The law on this is from here to here, it's got to be 2 3/4 inches. Okay, that's the law. So you break them off.
Uh-huh.
You throw the rest of the crab away, and you put him in a box.
Because that goes.
Because that goes to your stomach at night.
Because that's
Good eating. That's great eating.
But only one claw?
Well, the other one didn't
The
make
other
the
one
law.
didn't make the law.
Who gets claws?
Oh, look at that. Bonus.
Okay. All right, so you got one legal.
Them right there, that's both of
You got one legal.
Each one of these crabs has one claw.
No,
that's
you get
pretty
some
much-
crabs that
some-
got two. That's
But the
legal.
last two we pulled up, this one side is legal, one side's not. Now that's going to grow right back.
have to go right back.
So we're not actually damaging this crab. We're just, we're taking the candy off.
That's right.
and then we're throwing them back.
You're getting the goodies.
Look, there's another one. Look at the meat. There's enough meat in here. Probably more meat in here than is in the whole blue crab.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat. I didn't even know these guys existed out here. These are stone crabs, and then guess what? He's going to go back in the water, and that's going to grow right back. We'll catch him
A few months from now.
A few months. Relieve him of his arms again.
Yeah.
Learning other stuff, too. This box right here, that box is for the people we sell crabs to. This box over here, this box is for the pickup truck when we get home.
When we come back, we will wrap up the crab line and see if we were successful enough to muster a profit.
40, 50 traps in a line. When you fish later in the wintertime, you fish in open water in the Gulf and stuff, you'll put up to 60 traps in a line.
Good.
Some lines you got 25, 30 traps. Some lines you got 10, 15 traps. Just depending where you're fishing at, the area you're fishing, a fun will come through to where the crabs is plentiful. The dock's paying 55 cents a pound.
55?
55 cents a pound.
So you got to work your ass off just to pay for gas and boat and people before you ever make a penny.
That's right.
I don't think people understand that.
As far as getting the numbers to make $1, well, the Terrebonne Estuary is one of the 2 best places for quality crab, the Pontchartrain area being the other.
Lake Pontchartrain is known to produce big crabs. Over here, you got a lot of marsh, a lot of open water, bayous and stuff and all. And I think that's why we got a good quality of crab.
This is female?
Well, actually, female, you're what you look for on a female.
I know what I look for on a female.
Well, you look at the skirt.
Skirt.
Look at the skirt.
So if you got a skirt,
female,
you're good to go. Female has a skirt, male does not. Male, no color on the claws. Female, bright orange. So that's the difference.
Every once in a while, you'll pick males out. That's where I make my money at on male crabs.
When you're just select grabbing male crabs, is that a better quality of crab?
Yeah, better quality, yeah.
It's the restaurants
You'll get more for that male crab than what you'll get for that female crab.
Okay, so they're heavier or just they're always more full?
No, I wouldn't say that. Just people like to eat male crabs better than females.
We ended our run with enough crab to pay the piper. But seafood families face a lot more than weather these days. Higher fuel costs, labor cost, equipment cost, and repair, especially in a saltwater environment.
It takes at least a couple guys, 300 or better traps to make a decent living these days.
To make a profit and a good living all the time would drive the price of seafood out of the reach of consumers.
What would you think one crab would be worth by the time it gets to a plate? One crab.
Maybe $5.
But this is what they do. It's what they love. It's what defines them. And it's the reason they endure day after day, no matter what is thrown at them. Work hard and live the best you can. Past generations taught it to them. America should look at their example. When we return, our groceries head to Mandeville, Louisiana, and Zachary's restaurant, a great recipe you can impress your guest with.
It's always been a dream of mine. I guess just a lot of hard work and dedication got me to where I am now. We're going to have a terragon poached crab meat and butter with a hibiscus vinaigrette and Creole heirloom tomato salad. I really enjoy cooking food, and it brings people together, puts smiles on their faces. First with the salad dressing, add a little touch of Creole mustard, some nice clove honey, about 2 cloves, some crushed garlic, some olive oil. Going to add a little bit of the hibiscus vinegar. So that was really my biggest thing, how I got into cooking. And then me just getting to open up Zachary's restaurant here in Mandeville is only a plus. You know, it's a light salad dressing, something that goes well with the tomatoes, not going to overpower it. Kosher salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. You know, I believe that good food comes out of small kitchens. Heirloom tomatoes, different colors, they all taste different shapes and sizes, so it makes them so unique. I try and take what I grew up eating down here in South Louisiana, with the food that's classically served all over the place and throw my twist. I'm gonna do a bigger chunk on them. Gives it a more of a rustic look, more fun, and it'll showcase the colors. In Louisiana, food mimics life. We have so many different cultures and cuisines and people with different backgrounds. You know, you can get heirloom tomatoes at any specialty food store, and Fresh Market, Whole Foods. And if you can't get them, a good Creole tomato will work just as fine. The vinaigrette we made. Just give it a nice little drizzle right on top of tomatoes. We're gonna give it a light toss. Now this liquid right here is just some regular unsalted butter, some fresh kosher salt, and some fresh tarragon leaves. You wanna get this just warm. You do not want it boiling and simmering. You just want it warm. We're gonna take some fresh Louisiana blue crab, and we're gonna put it right into the pot. And essentially what we're doing is we're poaching the crab meat in tarragon butter. Now this only needs to be put in here for just about a minute and a half, just to get the chill off the fresh crab meat. Now we got the crab meat poached. We're gonna go ahead and plate it on up. Louisiana blue crab is the best crab meat you can get anywhere else in the country, hands down. There's nothing better. It tastes sweeter. It's bigger. There's nothing better than Louisiana blue crabs. The beautiful heirloom tomatoes that are all tossed in the vinaigrette. It's really cool to mix them up with the colors, you know, and the different sizes. All this does is just add a little character to the dish. Doesn't have to be perfect. I really liked the way tomatoes pair well with crab meat, as well as tarragon. With butter, of course, you know, everything's better with butter. Take our tarragon poached crab meat. Very pretty, very sweet. And what tarragon does, gives it that flavor like anise almost. A very subtle licorice flavor, which goes very well with crab meat. Instead of just, you know, throwing a salad together and pouring crab meat on top, it's a deconstructed version of something that people can make at home. You get restaurant quality food, and it's just as great, if not even better than what people think it is. There is nothing like Louisiana blue crab. Now, these are microgreens. I use these as garnish for a lot of things here at the restaurant at Zachary's. They're all different baby sprouts for different vegetables and herbs. They have different complex and flavors. So it's very nice to put on top. It doesn't really get any healthier than this. And it's for people who, you know, who have food allergies, who just really can't, you know, doesn't want anything heavy for dinner. It's definitely it'll just fill you up. It's just a great dish to have. Nice summer salad. When crab meat's running, big lumps, it's going to be beautiful for any table, and anybody can make it at home. When people come into Zachary's restaurant, I want them to leave full, of course, and happy, but educated as well.
Take it from me. Go get you some fresh Louisiana seafood today. No better food for the holidays. You can get it straight off the dock by going to louisianaseafood.com.
People like to eat male crab better than females.
See, I'm opposite.
Again, no comment.
Again, this is too easy. You know, it's like a big softball. You just gotta.